fucking ready to go to war. In this moment.
Like, do you know something I don't know? I mean, I'm wearing like cargo shorts, the sneakers, and you're like dressed like you just walked off the set of Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 40.
Zero Dark 40. Alright.
That's what we're at now. What's going on, guys? This is Berz. I'm here with Nate Murr, inventor of the grip stop. We're going to take a look at the the grip stop. I don't have one today because I'm redoing my rifle.
And that's why this is the last video I'm ever doing with Berz.
What we're doing today is we're taking a look at the OSS Bannar Alpha muzzle brake flash hider. It actually is labeled as both.
Right.
So Murr actually has one of the early prototypes, and I have one of the current production models.
I think it was one of their first production run ones. I got this at the OSS Mission Beyond party out at SHOT Show 2 SHOT shows ago. So genius that is Russ Oliver. Russ is the owner of OSS Mission. He explained to me the theory behind it, and he's definitely a unique dude for his perspective, because he's a dude that went to college and got his engineering degree and then joined the Army and became a Special Forces officer. So he's the dude that sat down and he said, listen, why has our technology not really advanced much in the last couple of decades? You look at sound suppressors haven't really changed much since Hiram Maxim's original design over 100 years ago. So he started designing his series of sound suppressors, which are used on a bunch of HK guns now, and they're selling commercially. The cans have like over 29 patents, so like 29 brand new things in sound suppressors. And what they do is they use the technology for the sound suppressor and they applied it to a muzzle device. So it's a flash hiding muzzle brake, and as a guy that hates muzzle brakes, I've been shooting the hell out of this for over a year now and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite muzzle device outside of an A2 flash hider. So for me, I care more about flash than I do about muzzle climb and all other stuff. I don't like muzzle brakes in comps because they're good for the shooter, but I feel like it's detrimental in a team environment where you're sitting right next to a guy shooting a rifle. You're throwing all that gas in that dude's face. You're disrupting his ability to fire his firearm a lot of times, particularly inside a small structure like a hallway or a small room. So this guy, what it does is essentially how the baffles are cut, or the chambers are cut, is it swirls the gas around, and being basically right next to another shooter, he feels like a little puff of gas, a little puff of air, but not enough to really just disrupt his ability to fire his weapon. I definitely feel it more here than when I was parallel with it, right? Again. Yeah, this is definitely where it's the most, right?
Yeah.
So real quick, like people are like, oh my God, he's downrange from Berz as he shoots his gun, right? So the thing is, anybody that's spent any time in a combat arms OS and MOS in the military, you will be downrange from other weapon systems and from guys shooting them, right? So in the military, you know, like bring your rifle up, we have this thing called the 5 mil rule. This is some old school shit people forget, which basically if you make a fist and you put it to the side of your gun, left and right, if anybody breaks that distance, then you put your weapon on safe and take your finger off the trigger, you don't fire your gun, right? So the thing is, it's like, here I am, I'm standing 4 feet to the left of you, I'm in front of your muzzle, but I'm still in a safe direction, okay?
Right.
So every day, and this is something that I heard best explained by Matt Graham from Graham Combat, and I believe in it wholeheartedly, just from shooting downrange from other shooters for years in the military. It's obviously something we want to avoid in competition shooting and recreational shooting, especially if you don't know the skill level of people around you, right? Something that you absolutely positively have to be forced to do in combat, right? But the thing is, every day we drive on the highway and we drive a 2-ton missile 18 inches away from another 2-ton missile, both traveling 75 miles per hour. So if you trust a complete stranger driving this huge machine, you know, a vehicle, an automobile, to pass you 18 inches away, then why can't I trust somebody that I trust my life on as a teammate or a fellow shooter whose skill level I understand? Why can't I trust him to shoot that tiny little window, to thread that needle when he's 4 feet to the left of me, right? It's nonsense. If you don't have that skill level, then obviously don't be downrange from another person. I'm not asking, like, you know, stand and shoot like over the guy's head, because that's just retarded. That's ridiculous, you know. That's how accidents happen now. That's how people get killed. But you can still safely be downrange from another shooter without realistically being any threat to them at all. It's not until you get about a 45-degree arc, so in front of the muzzle, that you really feel that. But ideally, you don't want anybody in front of your muzzle that's not a bad guy, right? So it's not really a detriment to your teammates But so you're gaining that better mitigation and recoil and muzzle rise via the compensator aspect of it, or the brake aspect of it, but you're also retaining your flash reduction in the form of flash fighter.
I am seeing the
Fire?
it doesn't come out of it.
Yeah, it's like a little bulb lighting up inside, right?
Yeah.
At nighttime, you know, if you don't have illumination, you don't have nods, you don't have a flashlight, you shoot for the muzzle flash. So the thing is, like, as Americans, we have all these cool guy things like Surefires and PVS-14s and that kind of stuff. So it's easy to see the bad guy. Bad guy, it's harder for him to see us. So he shoots for that muzzle flash just the same. So for me, it's like I always want that signature reduction, that flash reduction, more than I want that recoil reduction or that muzzle rise reduction. That's more important to me. But you get both with this.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a quick look at this, do some shooting, and show you guys what we're talking about.
You're just barely around the building, right? Just barely. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's not bad, right?
No, it's not bad.
Let's stay right there. You'll feel it more here. You feel it more that way?
Yeah, but it's good for, you know, working in and around people.
Yeah, right next to the guy. It's not like a regular muzzle brake where it's throwing gas in your face, right?
Right.
Flash hiding muzzle brake.
Right.
So it does both. I mean, I think it's pretty effective as a flash hider. And I think it's very effective as a comp. Even though it does make the gun louder, like other comps do, it's not as gassy. It's not as bad to shooters to the side of you.
Yeah.
Like, was that disruptive to you, being right next to you?
No.
Yeah, like...
Just not knowing was. Now if we compare that to like that precision armament on the SPR we put on.
Yeah, that one's definitely...
Yeah, that's definitely disruptive. But they're two kind of different, you know...
mindsets behind it.
Yeah, I mean if you're going to use that precision armament one, you're probably not going to be around too many people.
Yeah, you're shooting competition or shooting by yourself at the local gun range, you know?
Yeah.
It's not something I'd want necessarily on my gun downrange in a team type event, you know, team environment.
Yeah, but this one, and it looks, I mean, it's definitely the technology that they use or the design that they use is completely different than anything you're going to see on other ones. I need that fucking grip stop. Fucking bullshit without the grip stop. Alright, so in close, you know, I've been using this for maybe close to a year. I got it right around where we built, right around the time when we built this rifle. You've been using yours for, what, 2 years maybe?
About 2 years now, yeah.
Yeah, so we both have, you know, rounds down range with it. I've been happy with mine. You know, if you go back and look at the videos of me shooting this AR, you can definitely see the muzzle rise, which is barely anything at all, if anything. So you can go back and look at those videos, and from what you've said on your experience, you know, going through many different courses and stuff with that gun, you haven't really noticed much at all.
I mean, the only thing I notice is I like it. So, I mean, like, people will complain that it is loud. I mean, it is louder than a flash hider, but the noise doesn't bother me as much as the overpressure, the blast out the side, and that's that's not really disruptive to the guy shooting next to you. So that's more important. And like I said, it works pretty well as an actual flash hider.
Yeah.
The other thing is you gotta look at like flash hider stuff. It's not just the device on the end of your gun. Barrel length comes into play. What type of bullet you're shooting, right? So like military ammunition has gunpowder engineered to have a smaller flash, right? Commercial ammo, that's not a concern. So a lot of commercial ammo, it's like a huge fireball coming out of it. You know, so it's like one flash hider might do a better job than the other, but then again, what type of ammunition you're testing, that comes into play as well.
As far as the muzzle brake and flash hider, you know, this OSS Bannar Alpha, you're gonna notice that the price is a little salty. But if you want to get into salty things, you gotta pay salty prices. You know, buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
You know, don't go out and buy like 3 different muzzled, you know, devices. You know, go out there, do your research, like watching videos like this, and make an educated decision. And if this is what your decision is, then be all right with paying that price. Is how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not cheap, but nice things aren't cheap. So
yeah, things that work well are not cheap.
That's definitely a true statement for life as a whole.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys have any questions or anything, go ahead and let me know. If you guys have a Bannar Alpha brake, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, or better yet, make a video about it. Check out GripStop on Instagram at GripStop.
GripStop.
I'm a loser, I don't have one today.
Last video ever.
Ever. So next time, later. Yeah, it sucks not having a GripStop on there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And I feel like I'm jerking off because I don't have my damn GripStop. A fucking loser.